Guys, there are spoilers for this film in this review, so if you don't want to get busted by the feds, go out with film, then come back. You have been warned.
Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ron HD. So yeah, this is going to be a great time.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ron HD, and this week we watched one battle after another, and it was written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor, and Sean Penn. There's other people, but they're the most important, and I will say this will probably be on everybody's top 10 film list of the year. I don't think, honestly, any film can beat this out top 10-wise. Truly incredible. One of my favorite films of the year, and I'm not going to say too much here, but I will say this was just amazing. But before I go on a whole tangent why I love this film, I'll tell you why I love this film and more back at the house.
You have to understand, Will,
me and Mom, we used to run around and do some real bad shit. They got hurt. Now they're coming after us. Hey, let's go. I got a tunnel. Whoa, what's going on?
I need a weapon, man. All you got is goddamn nunchucks. You know where I can get a gun?
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Ron HD, and this week we watched one battle after another. It is a new thriller, I'd like to call, like maybe epic thriller, action thriller, directed and written by Paul Thomas Anderson. This film is loosely based off Vineland by Thomas Pynchon. Sorry, I probably didn't pronounce that right. This film is starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Chase Infiniti, Sean Penn, Tiana Taylor, Regina Hall, and Benicio del Toro. And it is, I'm just going to jump right into it. This film is incredible. I love this film. I don't think there's anything I can really say that was a big, not in big negative, but any nitpicks, honestly. I think the way the movie went was exactly how I wanted it to be. From beginning to end, I think this film gave me the exact experience I was looking for when I walked into that theater. And I think, genuinely, this is most definitely in my top 10, probably even top 3 films of the year. And I think it's going to be hard to beat. I really believe that Paul Thomas Anderson is just an incredible writer and director, and I think this movie is just a testament to how fucking good his direction and writing is. It was just so fucking good. From the performances, to the snappy writing, to the incredible directing, cinematography, the score, almost everything about this movie was just completely S-tier and on point. And you can really tell the people who made this movie had a vision that they wanted to make, because from what I've read, Paul Thomas Anderson, the Vineland story that this movie was loosely based on, he apparently had wanted to make an adaptation because he loved the book. He's wanted to make an adaptation for since the 90s or something like that, for a long fucking time. So I can see that Paul Thomas Anderson has really wanted to make this movie for a long time. It's his most expensive movie. It's his first movie to be in wide release. He is putting this movie everywhere. He is really proud of it. And I honestly can't even blame him because, as I said, this movie's just absolutely spectacular. And I just think movies like this are why I love watching movies. You know, I know they might sound like I'm being hyperbolic, but just watch it. I genuinely don't understand how somebody could watch this movie and come out saying they didn't like it. Yeah, it's almost 3 hours, but it's so engaging. There's so much going on. It flew by. I don't think there was one super slow scene at all. It was fast moving constantly. So if you complain about slow moving movies, this is not a slow moving movie. It's long, but it's not slow, right? There is something constantly going on, and it's always keeping your attention, right? It's a thriller, right? So there's always something keeping you at the edge of your seat, the suspense at what's going to happen next. It's just so well done, and I just really, really hope that this film is nominated to win some awards at the Academy, at the Oscars, please. At least give Leonardo DiCaprio a best actor nominee, because he was fucking spectacular in this movie as just oblivious but caring and likable dad who just wanted what was best for his daughter. And he seemed like he was like a paranoid, like conspiracy theorist, but he had, while we were watching the movie, we know that he has every reason to be as paranoid as he is. And it's just, I really like the dynamic with him and his daughter, even though they're near the beginning of the film they're together, but they get like separated throughout most of the film. But like for the short few scenes that they're with each other, they have really great chemistry and they mesh really well together. And they have a really good back and forth. And honestly, I think that can be said for a lot of the characters. I think Sean Penn is a very, very well done, like, slimy, like, very creepy and weird villain that you just love to hate. You just want to see him get taken down. I think Sean Penn was deliciously disgusting, if that's a good way to describe him in this movie. But he's also, like, kind of a ridiculous, like, goofball in a bad way. Not like a fun goofball, but a really, like, embarrassing goofball in this. He was such a goober in this movie. He was so delusional. He really thought that Teyana Taylor liked him when she was just, like, using his clear affection for her as a like a get out of jail free card, basically. She was using him, right, which weren't, like, very warranted. Like, he was obsessed with her, and she's like, well, I can use that to get out, right? I can use that to get out of here. Whether or not, well, she ratted her friends and her revolutionaries out, which, not great. She basically got them all killed or put in prison for the rest of their life, so that's not great. But I don't blame her for using him, because I probably, maybe not the rat thing, but I would have used him. It's a fun thing. It's maybe not fun, but it is practical. However, I think he was just really hateable, and I think he was supposed to be, right? He was corrupt, and he was racist, but he also said, like, he loved black women, but he was, like, trying to join this really weird, like, Nazi KKK club, kind of. Like, they were definitely, like, weird. I think they definitely believed in eugenics. I absolutely think they were eugenics people. They were really weird. Like, they gave me KKK Nazi vibes. And they were called the Christmas Adventurers Club, which is the goofiest fucking name. But it's also pretty realistic, because these goobers always have the weirdest fucking goofy-ass names. Their like, call sign was literally Hail Satan Nick. It's just funny. Like, that's the thing. This movie is both funny and, like, really nail-biting at the same time. Like, you could have one scene where you're just laughing your ass off, and then the next second you're, like, at the edge of your seat, like, what's gonna happen? And it doesn't even give you whiplash. It's so fucking well done. Like, the one really funny part that I really liked was how Leonardo DiCaprio had this, like, really funny rivalry with, like, this guy on the phone, the revolutionary. He had a phone, and he had to answer these questions so that, like, it was like a passcode, right? So that he could actually prove that he was a part of the French 75. And he would, like, he didn't remember one part of it, and the guy kept being, like, kind of, oh, what's the word? He was kind of being a little, was it patronizing? He was being a bit of a patronizing asshole, right? And Leo was just so sick of it. And he would just, like, he hated him so much. And, like, it just really felt like he hated him. It was just so funny how much he was probably hated him more than anybody in the movie. He would, like, cuss him out, and he would get so fucking angry at this one phone guy. It was very, very funny and entertaining. And since Leo's such a good actor, it genuinely looked like he fucking despised the guy. It was great. And also, I really liked how some of his French 75 friends, they, like, would immediately recognize him. They would ask him one question that he would immediately know. There was just a lot of really little details that I really appreciated. You know, I really liked how the mom, spoiler alert, by the way, she obviously rats them out, but, she eventually flees. She flees from her witness protection thing, and she flees to Cuba or wherever. And I expected for her to come back and, like, reunite with Leo and the daughter, which, I mean, would have been a happy ending, but it would have been a little unrealistic, right? Would have been a bit of a fairy tale ending, you know? And, I mean, I don't think this movie really needed a fairy tale ending, right? And it didn't happen, because how would she be able to do that? Like, she was a part of a rebellion, a terrorist organization to the American government, right? And she couldn't come back at all. They would pick her up and they would probably arrest her pretty quickly. So she just sent a letter, and I think that was a lot more... I think it was more satisfying because it was more grounded, if that makes sense. I just really liked the execution of that. I was also really worried that they were either going to kill Willa or Bob, which were, Chase Infiniti and Leonardo DiCaprio's characters. I was really scared that one of them was going to die because being a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, being a thriller like this, like a serious kind of big movie, sometimes the main character dies or like a big death happens at the end. But I think the only big death to happen at the end of the movie was the villain, right? And he died the way he lived, like a fucking idiot, right? And I think his end was just as fitting, like, was very fitting for his character, because he was too stupid to realize that you think these people wouldn't have figured it out, that he had a mixed race relationship and had, a mixed race kid. Like, since they're racist, weird Nazis, they didn't like that, right? So they tried to kill him. And they did kill him after the second try, right? They didn't get him the first try, but they did get him the second try. However, I don't know. There's just so many things I could gush about this film. But I, frankly, don't want to reveal everything. Even though I've revealed a lot, I think genuinely there's a lot of things to enjoy about this film. And I haven't even gotten into Benicio del Toro, who I think is a very entertaining character. I really like how he's just like a huge homie the whole movie, just helping out Leonardo DiCaprio get to his daughter. Even though, like, it puts his operations and stuff at risk, he still helps him out, and he's just a big bro the whole movie. And he doesn't die either. He gets arrested, but he just makes it look like he was drunk, because they didn't even know the context of what he was doing. I don't know. I really like this movie. I'm going off, but I would highly recommend this film. I genuinely believe that a lot of people can get a bunch of enjoyment out of this film. I mean, if you don't like taboo things, because there's like a bit of sexual things at the beginning, but it's not that bad. There's not even really like nudity in this film at all. So if you don't like boners, if you don't like sexual talk, if you don't like promiscuous things, then you won't like this. But I feel like, come on, it's just a movie, right? And it's not even that bad. Overall, though, I would highly recommend it. And I think you should go out of your way to watch this film. I genuinely do. I think you should watch it with friends. You should watch it with a lot of people. And I think we should get groups. We should talk about this movie in groups, because there's so much to talk about and there's so much to do with discussion. And overall, just a great film. And with all this being said, what would I rate this film? I don't think this is recency bias. I just think, this is my honest opinion, I think I would rate this film a 9.5 out of 10. And, yeah, I think I've said what I need to say. I think I've said my piece. So, guys, hope you like this video. Share your friends, subscribe, turn those notifications on. Comment down below if y'all liked it. But you guys know how it goes. I didn't really mean to say that. What I really meant to say is, if you guys hated this video, unsubscribe, discontinue in the comments. And I've been Leonardo HD, and Viva la Revolution! Ugh! Oh shit, I shouldn't have thrown it that hard. Oh man, I'm just saying, like, there was so much good shit about this movie, but like one thing that kind of cracked me up about is how good Sean Penn was at being a creepy weirdo in this movie. Like, he was just so easy to hate, but he was also so goofy with how much of a creep he was. But it was believable goofy. And it was like, not, you get what I mean. He was just really ridiculous with how much of an obsessive weirdo he was. And it was entertaining, and he was an entertaining character, and also fun to laugh at and hope to see die, because fuck him.